gas chambers, and they didn't have enough time to liquidate us, so we were shipped out into Germany, because now the Germans needed people to perform slave labor in Germany. Even in 1944, where any decent, reasonable person knew that Germany lost the war, that the Allied armies from the west and the Russians from the east are just squeezing in. It's only a matter of time when they will have to capitulate. But Hitler told them that they're going to win the war, that he is working on a secret weapon, and that will win the war. And so they needed slave laborers. So now they shipped us to Germany, and they placed first there was a camp called Stutthof, and down deep in the way, Camp Stuttgart, where I was assigned to an airfield where we were building an airfield for night fighters for the protection of the city of Stuttgart. That was November of 1944. So didn't take very long, and the American Air Force came as they were flying over Germany the German Air Force was not existent anymore, and so they came over that airfield, destroyed the airfield, destroyed the airplanes. As a matter of fact, I remember that Sunday, it was a nice, beautiful, just like today, a beautiful day, and all of a sudden we heard the screaming, everybody out, there's Jewish planes here to pick us up. And we said, Jewish planes? Where did the Jews get planes? They haven't got bicycles, never mind, they've got shoes, never mind planes. The American planes were flying so low. You know, the American planes have an insignia, the 5-star. The Jewish is the six star. But we didn't know what American planes look like or what the insignias are. So when they saw blue and white planes with the insignias and the star, says this is Jewish planes. They're going to land on the airfield. They're going to pick us up. Well, the Americans had better ideas. They destroyed the airfield and all the planes that were there. So now they didn't need us anymore. It was shipped to another place. Over there was a factory where the Germans tried to produce oil from rocks, from Shive. They lost the Romanian airfields, so now they needed oil for their machineries, for the planes, whatever. And so they were trying to produce oil there. So we placed the work there. The same thing, the Americans were chasing us, so to say, happily. They came there, destroyed that factory, destroyed the barracks, and that was now April. And by then, there was no need for us. So the order came from Himmler that no prisoners, no inmates of concentration camps should be allowed to fall in the hands of the Allied forces. And so now we were ordered on a dead march. We were ordered out of the camp. There was no food. The Germans didn't have any food for themselves. And we were marching, and we found out afterwards that the destination was to take us to South Tyrol, where there are abundant salt mines, place us in the salt mines, and destroy us there in the salt mines. And so we were walking the first night, I remember, during the night the Germans were afraid to march us because they're afraid people will start running away and will cause a problem. So they placed us in a barn, in a huge barn. And then we heard during the night a lot of commotion out there. There was a group of the guards that wanted to run away, wanted to save themselves. And so they said, why should we take those people and walk with them any further? We got to save ourselves. We got them in the barn. Why don't we put gasoline around the barn and light up and burn the barn with them inside, and we can run away, go home, or whatever it is. There was another group of the guard that said, no, we cannot do that. Maybe they were probably thinking what's going to happen to them if they're caught by the Allied forces. So they said the destination is where we have to bring him, and that's where we're going to bring him and have him there. So anyways, they took us out in the morning from the bar. We kept walking. On the third day, we were liberated in the middle of the road, in the middle of the highway in Germany. The guards just left us stay in the middle of the road, going through the forest, the Black Forest, Schwarzwald in Germany. It's the Black Forest. I know some people from here visited the Black Forest. And so we were liberated in the middle of the highway in the Black Forest. We took off from there and started running into the both sides of the highway. When during the night, we were sitting near in the forest. There's 5 of us got together, and we were sitting there to keep warm. And the night went over. In the morning, we had a lot of commotion down the highway, and a lot of noise. But we didn't know what it is, whether it's the Germans or what. So we sent one person, a volunteer, went down in the morning from the forest to check out what's happened there. And so when he came back a little later, looking like Santa Claus, with a blanket, with a big blanket with goodies over his back. And he says, right there at the edge of the forest is a truck turned over with all the goodies. And so he brought food, good food, that we didn't have for a long time. We sat down, we had a fiesta, and after that, we went down the highway and we were picked up by there was a Free French Army that was there. It was the South Germany. And they picked us up, they took us into a nearby town and placed us with German families. And we were there. I was there not very long. At the first week, we were just numb. I didn't know, speaking about myself, I didn't know what happened, where it is, what it is. All of a sudden, after 5.5 years, living every minute under the gun, seeing the crematoriums burn into fires, being told when to get up, when to go to sleep, and then all of a sudden, you're supposed to be free. We couldn't understand what it is. So like I said, the first week we were just, I didn't know what's happening here. But then one day, I just broke down. I was crying hysterically. My friends thought that I got a nervous breakdown. And I started to scream, who am I? I didn't have a name. I was a number. Who am I? What am I doing here? Where am my family? Where's my mother? Where's my father? What am I to do? Where am I to go? It was just terrible. And so then I decided I'm not going to stay here. I'm leaving, going to look for members of my family. Maybe somebody survived. I didn't have nothing. I just had the prison uniform, the pants and my jacket, and that's it. And so I was walking. But how can you walk? Where can you walk? Hundreds of miles or thousands of miles to find their family? So walking down through the town to a village there, I saw a garage was open, a little bit ajar. So I was curious, and I looked in there, and I saw a motorcycle, a nice motorcycle there. So I got interested, and I looked at it, and I see that the key is in the motorcycle. So then I looked in, and I see it's full of gasoline. So I says, boy, that's interesting. During the war, nobody got gasoline, only those that were working for the government or the military. I said, this must be a high-ranking Nazi that lives here, that has a motorcycle with gasoline, and the key is still in the motorcycle. So he probably just left it. And I said, he probably won't mind if I'll borrow it.